anyone doesn't do it, they're just staying behind. I think the barrier to entry now is so much lower than it has been in the past. And especially using Sagan Passport, how you can actually get top quality people for a fraction of the price. It's unbelievable what my eyes have been open to. So my biggest recommendation for people is why play the game on hard mode? You don't get any points for playing it on hard mode. Make it easier on yourself. Yeah, so we are a small business in restaurants. So my family and I, we operate 7 restaurants. We are franchisees. So while we didn't come up with a brand, we have been in the restaurant business we built our first one back in '96 in Atlanta. So a very long time. And what's been really cool with our business is I have a bit of a background in finance. After undergrad, I went up into New York onto Wall Street to get, something not the restaurant business, take all that knowledge and bring it back. So I've always been a very big proponent of do what works for the big companies at the small scale. And that's how I found my way over into Sagan. So very happy I did, just fortuitously. But yeah, so small business restaurants with the mindset of wanting to be a big company embedded in us. It's funny that you asked that, 'cause I actually had some pretty decent success, by mistake almost, with global talent. I did your classic go onto onlinejobs.ph, and I had a couple of best practices I used that actually worked quite well. But we had one guy who stayed for a pretty long time, say 2.5 years. And then he left for another opportunity. And then we had another guy who I hired, and I was pretty good at doing 2 for 2. But the problem is I didn't know what I was doing. So I was very limited into data analysts. I know how to screen for data analysts. You literally hide like a little Easter egg somewhere in there, and then you can very quickly filter out the people who didn't read it. So I had some pretty decent success, but nothing in the sense of what we have now. I actually tried again to find not a CFO level, but someone who understood finance at the foundational level. And I had zero, I had zero success. So I just said, I tried, I guess I can't find any. And then very luckily, that was when John started really gearing up about talking about all the global talent. I actually knew the exact position I wanted to hire for. So that made it very easy, where I was like, hey, John, here's what I'm looking for. Very time pressure, because we have our weekly meetings on Tuesdays. So we need all the data from the prior week to be ready by Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I was like, I don't know how we get this done. And he was able to, I told him the timeline we wanted. And he said, yeah, that's very reasonable. As long as you don't have unrealistic expectations, it'll work out. So that was our first hire, was this guy. And Randy's been honestly like transformational. Because the level of talent you find on your own is abysmal, because you're very limited to one forum. You don't really have the ability to screen a bunch of people. I don't know how to judge if they're good or bad. So it was tough. And then on the other side, with Support Shepherd, who I tried out before, there was a lot of upfront costs. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to pay 35% of this guy's salary. And then, so I was like, I'm not sure. Because at that point, we were looking for cold callers, and they were very much not, I didn't feel like I was going to get a great product. So we just let it go by the wayside. But of course, here we are now, and I'm actually had an interview today for a cold caller. She's a very talented individual, and she's someone who really understood what we were looking for. So there's quite a few people we've been interviewing, and because it's tough, right? You don't know which ones are going to work out. They all could be great, and you just don't know. So this one, though, I had a really good feeling. Her ability to understand what the role entailed was great. Our first hire was Randy, who is our basically financial analyst, invoice reconciliation, and like catering office support. So I told him upfront, these are what the responsibilities will be. And he has been honestly fantastic. His ability to synthesize information, create dashboards I need, and deliver a product is great. His English is spectacular. He's able to communicate with no issues and get what I'd like out as an output. So Randy's awesome. Carmela, who is our cold emailer and basically our lead gen person, she is so good. The feedback I've received from her is she loves that she is not micromanaged, and I hate to micromanage. I'm almost like, here, let me know what you need, and please just give me what I want. I don't want to have to be looking over your shoulder. And she is so appreciative of that. So I think there's a really big opportunity out there in the market where people overseas and global talent levels are used to such scrutiny. Meanwhile, I'm like, here's what I want of you. Here are the outputs I want. And at most, I want to meet once a week to go over things. And if you do a great job, that's all I got. That's all I can ask. So that's number two. And the third one we just hired. So he's starting on Monday. His name is Edmund, and he's going to help us with our technology backend. So a lot of our new, what I love about automation and AI, but the problem is I only have two hands and I have a lot of other roles I fill for our company. So even though my favorite thing in the world, and John will make fun of me all the time, is I'm a nerd on AI with him. Like I could go through AI automations all day with Zapier, but I need someone to help me once they're made, understand what happens, how to keep going, and build out the back office. Like we're looking to integrate a lot of our work with Airtable and Jotform, but I'm only limited to what I can think and what I can execute. Edmund's going to come on and help us really gear that up. And then we have that fourth hire we're looking for, which will be the cold emailer. So that's, 4 people in the span of 2 months, 3 people for sure in 2 months. And the fourth one's coming on. And you can underestimate how much you need to train people, but it's a very good thing that Sagan provides. Hey, here is what you need to do. For the first 2-3 weeks, be extremely hands-on, answer all questions. And then as you do a great job training, there's less and less hand-holding. And there's so many great modules like using Notion. You spend the time, document something once. It's going to be a pain in the butt because you know how to do it. It's going to take you forever to document it, but then it's done and they can refer to that SOP. And even better, you use ChatGPT to create the SOP for you. And then step better is you use Loom, put it into YouTube, get the transcript. It's unbelievable what my eyes have been open to. The community aspect is right. I actually had a call with one of the Passport members and his team is looking to put together a website for us. So I just threw out there, hey, does anyone have any good web development people they can suggest? And John gave me a great person. And then Hayden reached out and he has a full-time graphic designer and developer. I'm like, okay, great. Let's see what's going on here. I think the biggest impact I've seen is our ability to consistently get the outputs we want without having to keep changing focus. So a lot of times in small business, you have a primary focus you're focused on. And when you fix that, you go to the next fire. But if no one's watching, this becomes an issue again. So you're basically just putting out fires all the time, but really not gaining ground. And it's very difficult to have any type of momentum if you're continually taking, even let's say 5 steps forward, but then 5 steps back. But you end up being in the same place without anything to show for it. But with the impact in our business is I define what I want and I define it very specifically, and then it gets done every week, week in, week out. So I have the same dashboard. Running 7 restaurants, there's a lot of information, a lot of data, and all of it is equally important. But again, you only have so many hours in the day you can work. But the ability to leverage yourself through global talents to give you the outputs you want has been truly transformational for us.
That really sounds like you guys are rocking.
It's the amount you pay in US dollars for such an inferior product. And people just do it because they don't have any idea anything else is out there. Like when you actually break it down to what a US person will cost to be in an office, to run like let's call it 25% of the outputs, you'd likely pay more for that person than our entire back office who is churning out exquisite content exactly how we want it. And they're available for us to work and have any requests for us, which is, it really is a hack. I'm constantly dreaming up how else can I incorporate global talent? Because there's almost an unlimited use case. You just have to think of it first. Like our third hire, so separate to Sagan, we have 2 people already global talent-wise. So Sagan has brought us another 3 so far, so we have 5 with a possible another person for cold call. And I'm still thinking of ways, what more can we do to just completely operationally leverage our business without having to pay so much US dollars and get back the ROI on global talent is just incrementally higher than it can ever be. So where I will see this being is, how can I integrate this more? Is there separate levels of our business we can integrate it more? Are there different areas or can we do something with SEO? All those things that were very expensive before, now all of a sudden seem much more feasible once you can start to wrap your mind around it. I would say to other restaurateurs, don't do it, because I want all the advantages. But in a very serious way, I think if anyone doesn't do it, they're just staying behind. I think the barrier to entry now is so much lower than it has been in the past. And especially using Sagan Passport, how you can actually get top quality people for a fraction of the price with all of the bells and whistles that are included in the community aspect. I don't know how it's not blowing up even more, honestly. The quality of people we're getting are fantastic. I'm constantly in school on the app, seeing what else have people said so I can learn more, because so many people share things and all it takes is one little bit of a nugget from someone and they may not even know they're saying it to spark something in your head. Like I remember John mentioned something about an automation, and I spent a pretty good amount of time. I think I spent like a whole Sunday once building out the automation, and it's been that alone has been transformational for our business, let alone the actual people in there. So you're combining someone who is very lazy, like John, who wants to get the biggest output with the least work. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want to be just like that. So my biggest recommendation for people is, why play the game on hard mode? You don't get any points for playing it on hard mode. Make it easier on yourself. The product market fit is fantastic. I think John's doing a great job by leading and showing versus just saying, look how great this is. It's proven. He just shows it all, right? And everything within Sagan, he just keeps adding and adding. So it's like, you pay up front, or you pay your monthly, and you're getting great talent. You're like, I don't know about this community aspect, and you're in there like, oh, this is pretty sweet. And then he drops little bombs of, oh, and now we have all the sales training fully included for the same price you're already paying. So I only see the benefits increasing because John wants to build a product where people feel like I can't live without this, and he's doing a very good job so far. I've been really enjoying the product so far, and it's only been, I think I joined in March. I joined pretty close to when it started, and I already feel like our business has been improved dramatically. I think everything you guys have been building has been great. I'm so excited to see what else is going to come through the pipeline. It's very cool seeing the small, because a lot of people think small business is like, you don't have the resources these large enterprises have. So it's, well, you're hiring labor, but can you really afford an office analyst? No, you can't. You have to use that money elsewhere. But now, if you can use way cheaper to get the same result, if not better, you're like, wait, so now I don't have to be doing this, and I get the same output as if I do it. Yeah, I think everyone should be using this far more than people are.